Hello, today is just redecorating my Ebonscale house. Bit of a fun video, not very informative. But yeah, so the tour of the before, I have this pretty empty downstairs space with the chests. Upstairs I had this weird shaped wall that I made, this failed little dining area, a weird spot up on that balcony, and then this downstairs for the balcony. I like this actually, but it was just hard to work with. But I think the flowers and the bookshelves look really good. Walking all the way back up and then going to my upstairs, which I don't think that I'm gonna change. I don't like these mismatched bookshelves and chairs, but this part of the room where I've sectioned it off and I've got a little bed here, I think that's fine. And then through here is a bathroom, which I'm very proud of, so I'm not taking that down. Alright, starting out, I get rid of everything that I don't want. So I cleared out the downstairs, I clear out the second floor, and then the full balcony, I also cleared that out. So I have a fresh start to work with, all of this little stuff. And then I take ages to find what I want to do. I just flounder around, try things, stop, redo it, take it down, whatever. I've had this house in Ebonscale for ever. I think that it's annoying that it's the only large house in the town, meaning that basically everyone owns it and everyone has the same layout to work with. I've looked at small houses because I don't like the everyone flocking to the same place, but the storage is a lot better. But so that's why I've always used those bookshelves to make walls and try and make the shape of my house more unique. But with this decoration, I don't do that. I kind of keep it how it is. I only use a couple walls as separators, but it's not much. So I'm still here taking stuff down, putting stuff up. I've just put, I think, a table outside. I had trouble matching the chairs because I didn't have two of the same kind for some reason. That's a continuous issue on this thing. And here I'm finally getting what I'm going to stick with. And so the plan is that I'm sectioning off the front space here with bookshelves. I'm going to have a kitchen behind here, and in the front I'm going to have an entrance space. Yeah. One of my favorite things to do with decorating is to section off the bigger rooms with these low bookshelves. They are lifesavers. So sectioning off different rooms in the house to make smaller spaces because it's easier to decorate. All of the houses come with just big rooms, just a couple of big rooms, and it can be very overwhelming to decorate them as one room, right? I feel like a lot of people will have the issue where a lot of furniture feels has to stick to a wall, you want it on the edges of the room. And so creating more walls gives more space for that sort of thing to happen. And things won't be all weird, spaced out, lots of space in the middle. Keeping things comfortably cluttered. Anyway, I really wanted to there's a longer art bench that you can get. I wanted that over here, but I didn't have one. There wasn't one on the market, so for now I just use those two and figure it's the same-ish. But once you get the bigger furniture and you start putting these little clutter items on benches, on shelves, that sort of thing, I feel it makes everything, it brings everything together, That's when it starts looking good. Or putting paintings on walls. And that sort of thing. So actually, here's a fun tip. If you wanted like a free floating wall item, you can use a bookshelf or another item to get the place that you want it to be, like where you want it to be floating. So I use bookshelves to put those maritime valances up over that entry to make it just feel more finished. I love this little basket from the event going on at the moment. I didn't even realize it was a furniture item to begin with. So when I did, I like bought a heap of them. You can kind of tell that I enjoy a lot of like plants. There's those trellises. I'm a big fan of them, and I think that using them indoors is actually fun as well because it like brings some life to the place. Up here I actually kind of mimic the layout that I did already have. I find this room in the house very difficult to work with because it has the walkway straight through and then it has 2 different staircases, so there's not much like empty space for furniture. So I had trouble figuring out what to put here, but I did eventually just end on a dining table with all these mismatched chairs because of course I didn't have any matching ones. And then yeah, I just decorated it like that. I put my chairs hidden under the stairs. I covered them up. I love to put bookshelves on against the walls to like break up the natural wall textures. And then adding little shelves like this, just to put like bottles and flowers on, just to clutter them up, I think makes the place look a lot, I don't know, a lot nicer. It just adds something to it. I honestly didn't put too much thought into how I was decorating the place. I just knew that I was unhappy with how it was, and it was bothering me that it was an ugly house. And my plan actually was to redecorate my Everfull house for a video, record it. But I just I didn't feel very motivated to, but I do like, I think Everfull is probably my favorite settlement because of the re-skin of all of the houses and everything. And so on this patio, I still think that it's not very good. It's quite unfinished. I only put that little table there. But the thing about this sort of house is you hit the maximum item limit faster than you expect. At the beginning I was like, how am I going to fill up that many items? But I got there. And so on this wall I am again using the low bookshelves to add a variation, and I'm using them backwards so they aren't bookshelves, they're just a wooden panel this time. And again adding flowers and clutter. I got a couple of the seasonal furniture sets from the cash shop, and honestly they're really pretty. I got the one with those little specimen jars and the masks on the wall and the chandelier that has a skull on it, and I got the little mounted skulls. I really like them. Anyway, up at the very top I just wanted to swap out the bookshelves to match each other and then make the chairs match each other because it was a miracle I actually had matching ones. And I just added some more wall decoration, just small stuff. And I changed out that tiny little rug for a bigger one because that was bothering me. Very tiny. Here it became night, so it was perfect timing to try and get a light out the front. Those little pumpkins did less than I thought. Then I hit the item cap. So I took all that away. I put a light up to actually get some light in. And then I actually finally I got Landy to craft me the countertop that I wanted, the longer one. So I swap out the benches from this other side and try and keep everything similar-ish. I like the smoke that little item creates. It feels more kitcheny. And then I put a little stool outside and I put one little jack-o'-lantern and a little package at the bottom. And then here's the final tour of the finished thing. The front, nice and basic. Here's the entryway. I'll probably take those little jack-o'-lanterns down after Halloween, which I think is today or yesterday. Here is the kitchen space. I'm very happy with it, to be honest. The like galley kitchen where it's on either side is interesting. I haven't done it before. Here's the downstairs patio balcony space. Nice and simple, kind of boring. It's okay. And then the second floor, this custom little wall I did. Got some, that's all my trophies all together. My little dining area, dining table. I love those hanging masks. I use them a lot more than I thought I would. The upstairs, which I didn't really do much to, just the bookshelves. I made that little side table there and put the paintings up. Yeah, get a nice cinematic shot of it. Take a look. This one. Oh, and the bathroom. Very proud of this still. Haven't changed anything about it. Alright. Cool house.